Fear is an illusion, a narrative we create and then accept as truth. But what if you refuse to let it dictate your choices? What if you face life with calm reason instead? Today, we'll explore how fear limits us, how ancient wisdom teaches us to overcome it, and how you can step out of its shadow. First, recognize fear for what it is. It's not your enemy, but your mind's attempt to shield you from discomfort, failure, or the unfamiliar. Yet in doing so, it often blocks growth. The great thinkers of the past didn't seek to erase fear, they sought to understand it. They saw it as a reaction, not an absolute truth. As one philosopher observed, what disturbs us is not events themselves, but our interpretations of them. Fear loses its power when you realize most of it is imagined. What if I fail? What if they reject me? These aren't facts, they're stories, and you can rewrite them with logic and courage. To break free from fear, you must face the thoughts behind it, sitting with discomfort rather than fleeing. Second, embrace discomfort voluntarily. Strength isn't built by avoiding hardship, but by seeking it. Ancient thinkers would deliberately endure simplicity, sleeping on hard surfaces, wearing plain clothes, not out of necessity, but to prove their resilience. They call this practicing poverty. Why? Because when you confront what you fear, it loses its hold. Voluntary discomfort is training. Take cold showers. Speak even when your voice trembles. Step into uncertainty intentionally. Each time you do, fear shrinks. Modern life encourages comfort, but true growth lies in resistance. Prepare for storms by walking into the wind, not hiding from them. If you want fear to stop ruling you, stop treating ease as essential. Become someone who can handle anything. Third, focus on what you can control. Fear thrives when you fixate on the uncontrollable. Others' opinions, external outcomes, unpredictable events. But one timeless principle remains: direct your energy only where you have influence. You can't control whether people like you or if circumstances shift, but you can control your preparation, your reactions, and your mindset. Another philosopher put it simply: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realizing this brings strength. When you stop obsessing over results and focus on effort, discipline, and values, you become unshakable. Fear can't dominate someone who masters their own thoughts and choices. Fourth, let fear guide you. What if fear wasn't a stop sign but a marker of meaningful territory? The most important pursuits, public speaking, entrepreneurship, vulnerability, often come with fear. It appears not because you're weak, but because what you're doing matters. Don't see fear as a barrier. See it as a threshold. When something scares you, growth likely lies beyond it. So instead of retreating, move forward. Ask, what would I do today if fear didn't exist? Then do it. Fear loses its grip when you stop fleeing and start using it as a compass. Fifth, cultivate stillness. At the core of resilience is calm, not passivity, but focused power. A mind unmoved by chaos, a spirit steady amid turbulence. When you nurture inner stillness, fear finds no foothold. You become the eye of the storm. Build this through daily discipline, reflection, meditation, solitude. Question your impulses before acting. The great minds of history didn't numb themselves to life, they honed themselves against it. Train yourself to pause, to respond deliberately. In a world of noise and panic, your stillness will set you apart. Sixth, stop living for approval. One of our deepest fears is judgment. What will they think? This fear stifles authenticity, ambition, and self-expression. But here's the truth: you weren't made to live by others' standards. Another philosopher noted the irony: we love ourselves more than anyone else, yet prioritize their opinions over our own. You have one life, yours, yet many live it as a performance for others. Understand this: no matter what you do, someone will disapprove. But wisdom teaches us to anchor ourselves in reason and integrity, not validation. Ask, are you living to impress or to express? The moment you release the fear of judgment, you begin walking your own path, and that's where true freedom lies. If you've read this far, something in you is ready to rise. Not someday, but now. This philosophy isn't confined to history, it's a tool for living. In a world ruled by fear and distraction, it's more vital than ever. You've been conditioned to avoid failure, seek comfort, and crave approval. But what if everything you've been avoiding holds your greatest strength? What if fear isn't your foe, but a signal pointing you toward growth? It's time to reclaim your mind, to stop reacting and start responding, to stop drifting and start living with purpose. As one thinker challenged, how long will you wait before demanding the best for yourself? You don't need permission to become unshakable. You only need to begin. So tomorrow and every day after, remember, you weren't made to be ruled by fear. You were made to master it. Now go become who you're meant to be. Here's the continuation. Fear only wins when you let it. Every hesitation, every retreat, every moment you choose comfort over courage, that's fear tightening its grip. But you have a choice. You can either be a prisoner of your doubts or the architect of your resilience. Start small. Challenge yourself daily in ways that stretch your limits. Speak up when you'd rather stay silent. Take the first step before you feel ready. Discomfort is the price of growth, and every time you pay it, you weaken fear's hold. Remember, courage isn't the absence of fear, it's action in spite of it. The greats weren't fearless, they were disciplined. They showed up when their instincts screamed to run. They trusted the process, yes, not the panic. So ask yourself, what's one thing you've been avoiding out of fear? Now do it. Not when you're ready, but now, because readiness is a myth. Confidence is earned through action, not waiting. The world doesn't reward those who play it safe. It rewards those who dare, not recklessly, but deliberately. With every risk taken, every boundary pushed, you reclaim a piece of yourself that fear once stole. This is your life, no one else's. Stop outsourcing your choices to fear. Stop asking for permission to be bold. The only approval you need is your own. Stand firm. Move forward. Fear will whisper, but you don't have to listen. The bravest thing you'll ever do is choose yourself over the noise. Now, what will you do with that truth? The choice is yours, always has been. Fear may visit, but it doesn't have to stay. Every moment is a chance to rewrite the story, to trade hesitation for action, and to prove to yourself that you're stronger than what scares you. This isn't about perfection. It's about progress, one deliberate step, then another. That's how chains break. That's how lives change. So take a breath, then begin. The rest will follow.